haven't done this in a hot minute. Okay, well, welcome back to my channel. It probably looks a bit different. I've gone through name changes a few times, I've entertained the idea of coming back, but haven't done anything with it, but here I am. I'm back. I feel so awkward, but also not. I don't know. So, welcome back to my channel. I'm sure it looks a bit different from what you might remember if you're an older subscriber, or it looks different even if you're a newer subscriber, because I know a lot of people came here for Unisana's content, which I will be talking about a little bit later in this video. So I have a little list of like little bullet points that I kind of want to go on, but I don't want this video to also be super long, because it's really just who I am, where I've been, where we're going from here. You know, it's like a little town hall meeting for my channel. So for those of you who have been here for a while, I used to go by Ashley, which is my birth name. So I'm not gonna go through the channels of taking that out in old videos. It's there, but I do want to address it. Now I go by Eden. So hopefully you will address me as such, or online I also like to go by Peach, or Peachy works, so like, that's me. Hi, I'm Eden, or Peach, or Peachy. Since I've left YouTube, I have been kind of on a journey of self-discovery, which obviously is still continuing now. There's been a lot of life changes. I've moved a lot. I've gone back to school and dropped out again. I've been doing a lot. I've been kind of all over the place. Like I said, I've been entertaining the idea of coming back to YouTube a few times. I just haven't really had good ideas to do with it. Like, I know I've wanted to create, but as far as what I wanted to create has kind of been a big question mark for me for a while. But now I actually have ideas, and I'm really excited about it, and I'm super passionate about doing this again, which is what ultimately led me to stopping, is that I didn't want to edit my videos. I just wasn't into it. Like, the idea of having a set, consistent schedule still stresses me the fuck out, and I'm working on it. I would like to be consistent, because I know that that is better for anything you do online. It's like with everything that I want to do online, you just need to be consistent, and I'm so bad at that. But it's part of growth, you know? We're working on it. So, basically, what I've been doing since 2019, when I left YouTube, is shortly after I uploaded the last video, which is private on my channel, you can't see it, but not a few months after releasing my poetry book, I think like 6 months after releasing my poetry book, I moved 3 hours away from where I was living to the middle of fucking nowhere. I was isolated from all of my friends. I was very depressed. I wanted to create, but my internet sucks. I lived in the middle of fucking nowhere. And so I just kind of isolated harder and got more and more depressed. And so to fix that, once I kind of hit a pretty bad low there, I decided that it would be a good time to go back to college. So I went back for psychology, and I wasn't super sure on psychology. I think I had just changed my major before COVID happened, but yeah, I was living on campus, I was thriving, I was super happy. I started getting into art, which is a thing I've been doing. I monkeyed with having an art channel for a little bit, where I did commentary over art, which I might go back to. I don't know. I might adopt that into a concept here on this channel. Again, not really sure, but it's an option, so if you'd like to see that, let me know. I will link that channel in the description, because I eventually stopped uploading on there too. But I'll link to the things that I mentioned. Like, I'll link to my poetry book, I'll link to my other dead YouTube channel. But yeah, so I did that for a while, and then COVID hit, so I got kicked out of campus. I moved back home, which was an interesting experience, to say the least. I completely did not do well in online school, so I dropped out again, which is super depressing, but, you know. But also, in the midst of that, so I moved back home, which was like 2.5 hours away from my college, and then they let me, like, I had applied for summer housing, so they let me go back on campus for summer housing, even though I thought that they were going to cancel it, along with, like, you know, letting people live on campus, because it was only, like, a few months after they sent us home, because I got to move back in at the end of May, beginning of June. And so I moved back up there, but I didn't have any roommates for the first, like, 3 months or so. I was super alone. I, drove back down to visit frequently, because I was dating someone at the time, so I drove back down to visit them, drove back down to visit my friends, and on one of my times down, like 3 hours away from my college, I got pulled over and was told I had a suspended license from a car accident I got in. That was kind of my fault, in 2019, the end of 2019, and, so I had to leave my car 3 hours away, and I had to be without a car for a while. I eventually started going back to work, because where I was working had furloughed us because of the pandemic. And then, so I started working retail. You'll probably see the shirt I have for it pop up in some video in the future, because I have a t-shirt for it, which most people who work there don't. I don't know why I'm so proud of that. I don't know. So I started working retail, like, technically not full-time, but I was pretty damn close to full-time, that I basically was full-time, and also while trying to do summer classes, which I completely bombed because it was online and I was working full-time, and I tried getting into therapy, which then I was working too much to go into therapy, so my therapist broke up with me, so that was fun. And then February of last year, I decided to move closer to home, so I moved, like a half hour, 40 minutes away from my hometown, versus being like 2 to 3 hours away from my hometown. So I got to see my support system and, like, my friends and everything a lot more, which is really cool. I got transferred, but with that came a demotion. I was an assistant manager, and then, in order to have a job for when I moved, because I was also moving to help with some family stuff, I also had to take a demotion to a sales associate, which meant a decent pay cut and a cut in hours, and it just wasn't a good time. I ended up picking up a second job, but that meant I was working 7 days a week, and that was a rough time, because I wanted to start creating again. I had all these ideas, but I couldn't do anything with it. I've dabbled in, like, the Twitch whole thing for a little bit, which I'll link my Twitch channel down below too, and, like, that's another thing I want to get consistent with. I have all these ideas, I have all these games that I bought. So, like, I love doing it. If you look at my last video, you'll see that I do Twitch. But the last time I streamed, I was harassed, and it was a bad time. But good vibes only. We're clearing the air. We're starting fresh. It's spring, which is the time of new beginnings and growth, and that's all I want to do. Is just have new beginnings and growth. So I'm here, trying again. But yeah, and then that eventually didn't really pan out, so then I moved in with a friend, like, a half hour south of my hometown, so, like, an hour-ish away from where I was living again. I've had a lot of, like, mental health issues. I hit a very low point, and while I was, like, working 7 days a week, I was like, this isn't sustainable. I quit my second job, but then I didn't have enough money to live. So I took a job at a company that I used to work for back in 2019 that I fucking hated. But it paid well, and it was paying better for me coming back. So I went back, I destroyed my mental health, and a bit of my physical health, and I, disclosed to them that I have, you know, some documented disabilities. I do have mental health issues. And, they couldn't accommodate that. They didn't want to accommodate that. Fucking whatever. So I put in a lot of time and effort only to get fired like a month ago. So now my life has a bit of no direction again, but it's fine. I needed to lose that job because it was awful, and now I'm navigating unemployment, which is its own fucking battle. But yeah, so as you've seen in the interim, I've been doing Unis Honest compilations. I'm gonna do compilations for other YouTubers that I enjoy. So, like, got the Unis Honest thing going. Part 3 is coming, I promise. If you've noticed, it has moved, like, those compilations have moved to another channel. I'm sure I'm gonna get backlash for that. I'm sure people are still gonna be mad at me for having those up, but part 3 onward will be a little bit more memey, I guess. I don't know. I'm working on that. I've just been in kind of a depressive rut since losing my job. You know, I think having a little list of bullet points to go off of is, like, really helpful, because when I did YouTube the last time, I rambled on for like 45 minutes, and editing that down was a bitch. My videos were too long. Whew. Yeah, so Unasana's videos are coming. I see that they're doing some good, so whatever, I'll take the hate. Those aren't, but yeah, all my compilations, full Twitch streams, whatever dumb extra content I end up having, will be living on my second channel, to Peachy McCreepy, and I will link that in the description as well. So yeah, so I plan to start uploading again as regularly as I'm able to. I have like a whole list of ideas. My dogs want to get in. Let them in soon. I'm almost done. But I have a whole list of ideas. Some are from when I started the channel back in 2016, and at different points since then. So like, I have a lot of ideas. I'm really excited to see where this channel goes. I'm excited to stream on Twitch. I'm just excited to create. Like, I'm working on another poetry book. I am working, like, I do a podcast with one of my friends called The Hotties. I will also link to that down below. We have a few episodes out if you want to check that out. I'm also working on a true crime podcast, so, like, I got a lot going on. And I would be happy to see you join me in this whatever journey that I'm on. So, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more content. Bye!